Welcome to the desert of the real.
I'm going to tell you something. The one element that we don't talk about that's included in that equation, because, see, for me, and I think for everybody on this phone, it's pretty much the same. You say tomato, I say tomato. Basically, when we sit down and we eat it, we're eating the same thing.
Same thing. Yeah.
Now, the problem is, who is the person who's making this distinction to make it say, oh, when you eat this, you're not really eating a tomato, you're eating a tomato. Who is that person? Because this person, that element that we're not talking about is the agent element. The person is there specifically to make sure that we're never on the same page.
Exactly. And that's how we have to pull ourselves out of that equation in a sense. It's important for us to ask that question because self-identity is very important to give us the base in order to work from. So I certainly understand why it's a legitimate question. But at the end of the day, it was the white man that separated Africa from Asia and then separated Chad to South America to this to that. They put up borders and then started making up this term called racism. We already knew that we owned the land. We already knew that we and the Creator were one. We're all God in that sense. We are the Creator. We're one with that, and we were comfortable with that until somebody who wasn't from that element started making that valid. So we have to, in that sense, kind of pull ourselves out of that game and then just realize that we are the Creator. But I think it is important for us to get a base where we're so far removed from that Creator spirit and knowledge, we might have to start to identify ourselves by calling ourselves one thing. If it's African, that's fine. If it's not, that's fine too. But just let's keep our eyes on the prize of knowing in the big scheme of things, I'm not going to fall for that because that's the stuff that's been holding us back as well.
Let me give you an example of what I'm talking about, Ish, in regards to that. I've been going back and forth with three. I got a Hebrew Israelite, a Moor, and a Muslim in one thread. I'm debating three dudes at the same time. And I told the guy, I tell you what, to show you that I'm about the unity of our people, if we can come up with a term that we can all agree upon, I'll lay down African. I'll lay it down. I said, are you willing to do that? If we come up with a term that we can agree on, there's none of these terms that we're presently using, but a new paradigm, and we can all agree that, yeah, I can see myself connected to that. Are you willing to do it? You know what he told me?
What's that?
Why would I do that? I'm already been titled a Hebrew Israelite according to the so-and-so artifact. I'm like, you know what? Thank you. Thank you. Because everybody that's looking at this debate now knows where you stand. You're not about unity. You're not about consolidation. You're not about our people having some type of synthesis so that we can get past this bull crap and start doing some active work. What you're about is defending your dogma.
Yeah.
Can I get something real quick?
Sure.
I have less than 5 minutes, so they just gave me that message or whatnot. But one of the things that I wanted to introduce, and this is Asar speaking, into this identity discussion is, we talk about this whole concept of vibration and law of attraction. And for African people, when you study African ontological paradigms, it is believed that the name in which you say and identify with something resonates at a certain frequency, and the energy in which the name represents, that's what's the spirit that's on the object or the person which it is attached to. So with the term African, the question you have to always ask yourself is, what does it mean in the final analysis? I spent a great deal amount of time in the first chapter dealing with African concepts of naming and why they name and how important the name is, and how they just don't name anything, just anything for the sake of naming. That they take this concept very, very seriously because of this whole concept of vibration and speech. And when you get an opportunity to read the book, you'll find my references and quotes.
Right.
But that's something, like what I'm trying to get people to understand is, like, let everybody else be everybody else. Because everybody will say, well, the Jews don't do this. Well, the Asians don't do this. Well, who cares? We
exactly.
do this. And this is why we do this. And this is what separates us from the Jews and separates us from the Asians. So what I'm trying to get back is this real spirit of Kujichagulia. It's self-determination, redefine ourselves. And there's a whole chapter. If you go to my website, I have the appendix called Simultaneous Validity that anybody can read. It's in the book. It's Appendix B, and it'll give you the African paradigm, which calls for a redefinition for African Americans, and it is legit. But this thing is going to cut me off, and I don't know how long, so I'll just end on that.
So I just want to tell you, I ordered your book yesterday.
Yeah, I got it. It's
the Bakala of North America, people. That's the name of it.
Say again?
The Bakala. Am I saying it right? Bakala of North America. Bakala of North America.
Okay. It's very interesting you talked about vibration and naming. This Japanese dude named Masaru Emoto, he did some experiments with words and water, where he put some labels on the water and froze them, and some of them became crystallized and beautiful six-pointed crystals. In other words, the water that had negative labels and negative terms on it didn't crystallize, didn't freeze at all, and became very ugly and nasty looking. So if you said love and you put it on the bottom, no matter what language you put it in, it would form beautiful crystals. You said hate, no matter what language you put it in, it would form muddy looking whatever. But it was very interesting also that the older the language, the more defined the crystal was, and the more beautiful the crystal was as well. So
now, where did you find this at? Because I want to look that up definitely.
It's a dude named Masaru Emoto, and
can you spell that for me?
His last name is Emoto. I believe the first name is Masaru. I believe it's spelled.
Okay, I got it.
Watch also What the Bleak Do We Know? They have a whole thing.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Yeah, it's on there.
Oh, he's on it too?
Yeah, they do a whole thing on that, a whole segment of that documentary film about that, what you just spoke about.
Okay, yeah. There's actually he wrote a book, and I taught a class, and I brought it to the class, and I was showing it to the people in the class, and showing them how important it is to the words we use, the way we speak to each other. That's very important. Remember, the body is 75% water. So it's the same problem we have with our children. When you see these parents calling their children stupid and dumb and how they never do anything, you saw the 5 heartbeats. He said, listen, you ain't shit, and you ain't never going to be shit. How do I know? Because I ain't shit. When you say stuff like that to your children, you're really having a negative effect on their waters, and, of course, you're bringing their vibration down, and that's why it's hard for them to achieve things.